Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup podcast, episode 187. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Good. Another week of not a lot of cards, but I was sick and work was crazy. But squeezed in some video games, which was kind of fun. Continuing my descent into old school RuneScape, which has been great. I'm doing a solo Iron Man. So basically it basically verifies that I did everything myself. I didn't get any free handouts. I didn't do any nonsense to make my character better and easier and quicker and all these things. You can also do group Iron Man, but I couldn't find anyone to do this with me. So I figured this would be the best. But it's been fun. It's very you can do active things when you want, and you can do a bunch of AFK things, and the AFK things make the active things easier or better because it's getting a bunch of food or making a bunch of arrows and stuff like that, so that when you go and you have active time, you can do it for longer.
Yeah, you have all the stuff you need. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fun.
It's I remember it's downtime of XP gathering or resource gathering, and then active fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like Valheim or one of those survival games we play together where it's like, okay, we have to get all the potions and all the arrows and whatever, and we just all go crazy collecting stuff. Yeah, I got it. That's cool. Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
That is a fun game loop.
Yeah.
And I guess it's as classic as RuneScape. I did not realize that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's what the one downside of doing it by myself is there's a bunch of end game raids and stuff that you can do with groups, which I guess I can still do, but I have to be the first hit kind of a thing, and then only I get the weapon, so it's dumb. It just there is a bunch of solo raids and stuff you can do, so there's just a little bit of content that I'll be locked out of, but that's fine. I don't know. I like the purity of the skill grinds, the dopamine hit of watching the XP go up every couple seconds.
That number keeps going on.
The number keeps going up. And speaking of numbers that go up, my wife and I have been playing Cult of the Lamb because they came out with a co-op version.
Oh,
holy cow! That game is so much fun.
Yeah, I played that a while ago. That was one of the few games I ended up getting on that Switch that I got. And that was one that I actually played quite a bit out of all the games.
Yeah, that's what we're playing on Switch. Been playing on the couch. It's a ton of fun. You get to the one player is the sheep, and then or the lamb, and then the other one is the goat.
That's funny.
And it's kind of cool because I didn't realize one of my coworkers is really into the game, and she makes a bunch of cosplays, and so she's being the lamb, and her partner is being the goat for event
Halloween?
That they're going to. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
I was like, they just
her hobby is cosplay making.
Sometimes they just lamb and goat it up. You know?
Yeah. So they have most weekends and stuff they go to conventions or places where they dress up. So they obviously can't make one for each one. So they just kind of add to their inventory of ones that they can rotate, which I think makes sense.
Yeah, if that's your thing, your life thing, then I know several cosplay people that are.
You just have an inventory.
We have a room for our cosplay stuff, and it's racks of different things they've made, and
Yes, yeah, exactly. So I thought that was super cool. So we chatted it up about it for a bit.
That's cute.
And I was I expressed all my frustrations, and she was just like, "You just have to get a little further, and then it becomes more manual or less manual and more automatic."
Yes,
and
it does.
Yeah.
I
was like, how do you manage all of this?
Yeah, it's an engine building game.
Yeah,
basically.
it is.
You get the little engines going, and then they each kind of self-perpetuate, and then you have a new challenge that punches you in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is nice. I actually like that kind of hard mastery.
Yeah.
Shit, new thing.
Yeah.
Hard mastery. Yeah. Shit, new thing.
Yep.
It's a good game cycle. I like it.
Oh, absolutely. And is very.
That story is hilarious.
Yeah,
the premise is just ridiculous and fun.
Yeah. No, it's a ton of fun.
Well, I'm boring. I played the same stuff. Abiotic Factor, a lot of fun with my buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Survival game type thing, very much as it was before with Half-Life. And then, of course, No Man's Sky on my Steam Deck, which, I traveled this week, which is one of the reasons I didn't play anything. And I brought my Steam Deck with me, and it's glorious to have, because I think I'm just going to be traveling a lot for the last part of the year. And I'm bringing this thing with me everywhere because it is glorious to have this. And I've done this with the Switch before. Never took it out of its case.
Yeah.
Very different. I don't know why. It's stupid. Like, I guess because I just wasn't that into Zelda or whatever.
I think it's the game. It has to be the games.
Yeah.
Because the form factor is basically the same thing. Now the Steam Deck can run more games.
Yeah. There's more options, but I've only really played No Man's Sky, and I think I don't know. I think it's lighter too and bigger, so like the clarity on the screen is less eye strain. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm not entirely
screen.
sure what it is, but I'm just like, there's something that's got me on this, and it's just working. And again, maybe it's just like I'm really into No Man's Sky, and as soon as I get bored of this game, I put it on a shelf and don't pick it up again. Because Animal Crossing, I played a crap ton in my Switch, right?
Yeah,
and then
so
I didn't pick it up after that?
So the test will be: is there a second game?
Yeah, if I find something else that keeps me going, exactly. So we'll see. But so far, so good.
Cool. Market's kind of boring. Things are starting to, I think, groan, and there may be some wallet fatigue setting in. But for how long? And with rate cuts coming up, who knows? This could just be a deep breath, and then we keep going up, or we could go down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with rate cuts, typically they are associated with bad economic situation, right? So they're to help kind of neutralize the pain. Yeah. So if it's a normal situation, rate cut, as opposed to one of these weird stagflation, we don't know what's going on things, then the rate cuts will eventually pump things again, but it would be after a crash, theoretically. Like in a normal cycle, we are way outside of normal, though. But, who knows? Maybe we're going back to normal. I don't know. Sure. But we'll talk about that in the economic section.
Yeah. But one thing that did happen, and I think part of the groan, Spider-Man collectors down to 680 from about 985 thousand bucks. So about
That's
crazy. 30-40%.
Yeah, that is huge drop.
That's a big dip.
Especially, it's still pre-release, right?
It's still pre-release. Official pre-release is this upcoming Friday, the 19th. So that's when I'll be able to pick up my boxes. My boxes should ship on Monday, and then I'll be able to pick up my collector box on Friday.
What could have caused that big of a drop?
So the timing wise, we all know MTG Goldfish. They're a big YouTube channel around Magic. Have been for a very long time.
It's funny. I didn't know they were a YouTube channel.
They are also a podcast, yes. But
yeah, I always just read their articles, and I use their tools. Like, I know MTG Goldfish, the deck and the card trackers and the box stuff. I use it all the time. I did not know they had a YouTube channel. Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, go ahead.
Yep. It's quite a big YouTube channel.
Yep.
I can't believe your YouTube has not pointed you to them. That is crazy.
Pretty special.
That's special. Yeah, so they typically open up about a case of collectors each set, just to get a feel for it, and typically pretty early with their connection to Hasbro and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
How close they are and how long they've been doing this.
Well, and they do all the data tools, so they need to know stuff early. Yeah, makes sense.
So they open a case, and they averaged about $400 to $500 worth of pulls per box in the pre-sale price, which we all know is typically inflated or just wrong. Some things are lower. There are always one or two cards that skyrocket on release because like some new deck is found, or deck lists come out for standard, or a new commander deck, or depending on the set. Obviously there's no commander stuff. There's commander, obviously every set's a commander set, but there are no commander specific decks or anything for Spider-Man. So I think that might have pulled the price down. Seeing because, and John and I were talking a little bit before the show, remembering that this is a slightly smaller set than usual. So repetition in cards may be higher. It is easier to get all the cards. Now, if you're still looking for a specific kind, obviously that might be hard to pull a specific one, but it's still just looking at the raw value of cards pulled.
Yeah, so 400 a box. What is, so hold on, what is the typical MSRP for collectors now? This is all collectors, right?
This is
a case of regular.
This is a case of collectors.
Okay, so MSRP for a collector set with an IP, what is it? 300 something?
No, that's store price. Right.
So that's not that bad. That's kind of on.
Oh, it's on. Yeah,
400. That's kind of on point. That's not too bad. I was thinking it was a big jump over what we were seeing in the general values, and no, that's. And when I say general values, not the stupid hype bubble situation we're talking about on the pricing we're getting right now. I'm talking about like what a store would sell it for if it was all normal. Yeah, that's probably fine. Like it probably did pull back the price of the box, though. I will say that.
Yeah. A collector booster is $37.99 MSRP. So times that by 12. $455. So right in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That seems like okay. Like I know all the people that are buying it for $1,000 are upset now, but like seriously,
and which can cause ripples because then you have like credit card chargebacks, and then boxes get relisted, and then there's more on the market again, and it just becomes a mess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've been saying this for a long time that Spider-Man is not likely to be as good as people want it to be. And then I was beaten up and wrong. Not really beaten up, but I felt really, really wrong. I felt like I had done it wrong when we saw the spike to 1,000 preliminarily.
Yeah.
But it looks like the hype cycle is being slapped in the face with reality a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a small set. How many small set products have we looked at and been like, eh?
Yeah.
Every time that happens, it's like a little disappointing because it's not as fun to open, period. Like it's just not as good a product typically. Yeah. So, being a small set, that was a risk factor. There's some cool cards in there.
Yes.
Going to 1,000 before release is insane. Ridiculous in a normal good set. Only thing that deserves that is Final Fantasy and Lord of the Rings.
And like literally. Final Fantasy is the only one that did that. Lord of the Rings took a long time.
That's what I mean. Like those are the only ones that are really worthy of that. Every other IP, like
Lord of the Rings came out in 23.
It shouldn't happen with Spider-Man. It shouldn't happen with Airbender. It shouldn't happen with Fallout. Like, I'm sorry, I love Fallout, but it just like it's a big enough IP, but it's not. It should not go to 1,000 a box at pre-release. That's just silly.
Yeah,
it's silly. It's
I think this is a lot
of the car. Definitely not there.
But like, think about it, right?
All the factors the same. Still,
if it didn't jump up to 1,000, and we didn't have Final Fantasy, so we just had Spider-Man to go on, and we were seeing it at 600, double what stores are paying for. So a good, healthy margin for stores. Yeah, we'd view that as a success.
Totally, that'd be fine.
Yeah,
I would agree. Yeah, that would be okay. It would be a little surprising because it'd be a little fast, a little high, a little fast, right? And it would probably release and come back down to the 400s for a little bit and then go on its merry way up. That's a proper collector's release. That's, the market just got ahead of itself.
Yeah.
They came off of Final Fantasy and said, all collector boxes are $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that dumbness spread throughout the interwebs.
Yeah. I still don't understand Wilds of Eldraine over 1,000.
No, I don't either. I'll be honest. I think
Bloomburrow I can start to understand.
Bloomburrow is kind of there because it was a really popular set.
Exactly.
Wilds was too, but it wasn't the same level because they hadn't done the cuts yet, had they? Like the big hardcore cuts. Wasn't it all
because that Wilds was being dumped on Amazon for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like So there was more supply, so that really shouldn't be at 1,000.
Unless it really did get open that much, and there just is that much.
That is possible. It is possible it got eaten up. Because I do feel like that was a popular set in its time.
Because even Ixalan, like Ixalan was notoriously dumped on Amazon.
Yeah, Ixalan, that's not 1,000 a box though.
No, but it's over 500.
Like, that one's still like dragging along. It's
550.
Yeah.
That had no serialized
cards in it though. Yeah, didn't have didn't have like a neon or something in there. There was something in that was pretty.
Yeah, the Mana Tomb.
Is that what it was? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
but that was also reprinted. And
oh yeah, that's right.
Also banned from Commander, right?
Mana Crypt.
Mana Crypt.
Yeah, I think it was.
Or no, Mana Tomb was printed. Mana Crypt is the card in Lost Caverns.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. Even if it was, I'm pretty sure most tables don't care.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'll tell you that banning, everyone I know that plays, and again, I'm all table, like I'm not at stores, just ignores the list.
Yeah.
They don't care because we don't play at the highest level, so we don't give a shit. Like if someone's gonna play that, they still suck enough that we can beat them. It's not like a game breaking situation. We're not good enough for it to matter.
They're not going to take full advantage.
We're not good enough for that. No. Maybe one person in our group is, but anyways, they don't build that way. They specifically build down level so that we can have a fun game. So we basically said, we don't care about brackets. Like some people talk about it, but we don't actually say what bracket is this before we sit down. And then, and the ban lists are kind of like, if you feel like listening to it, go for it.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's fine too. We don't care.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the
bull market's still in effect.
Pulling out. Yeah, it's just proving out. It just got ahead of itself.
I think Spider-Man is Spider-Man got too far ahead of itself, but the rest of the boxes they may plateau for a bit.
Yeah.
But
I guess it depends on what happens here because I do see again rumblings in the economy as we've talked about, and I don't know. You look at box prices and they have flattened. Generally, they're on the curve. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm actually surprised some that are still relatively cheap. What was I just looking at? I had one up that I was like, "Whoa, that's surprising." It's like 200 or something. I was like, "What the heck? I didn't expect that." Oh man, I can't find it now. And every time you refresh the page, they're all in different orders because that's how TCG Player works. It's so frustrating. I hate the site now. Oh, I know. Like Dominator United is still down in the 200.
Yeah.
I know there's a Japanese one for under that, but it's 235. Like there's a bunch of stuff that. Oh, and Zendikar, which is ancient. Oh, and Kaldheim. That was the one that I was really surprised. I was like, Kaldheim's still under 300.
Well, what's in there?
Ancient one. Yes, but what we're seeing is a hype on collector boxes.
Yes, I think that might. I think those might just be too far back, and the new audience don't know about them.
That's fair. They haven't gone that far back. Yeah, that's fair. And those were different eras of print runs by far, which is why Innistrad, I still don't expect to go above 200.
No,
like that one totally makes sense. The older ones, I'm like, that's weird. There's a few right in the middle there. Crimson Vow, Innistrad. I'm like, Capenna.
Yeah,
200 is
that's fair. That's
it's like that one makes sense. So
Innistrad Remastered's holding out at the 300 again.
Yeah, and that one I think because it was one of those you know how they did the little special ones.
Yeah, and it does still have the serialized Edgar.
I was gonna say it started in a bit of a higher tier, just like the Ravnica started a bit higher because it was just a more rare box, I believe. I think because the remastered sets are like when they were doing this cycle, they were like the off main sets, right? Because they were released to Modern or something like that. Like that, they weren't fully valid, the remastered sets.
Yeah.
So they had lower print runs day one.
Right. Just less of them.
Mm-hmm. And I think their MSRP or whatever the recommended or the cost to stores was just higher by like 30% or something.
Yeah.
So they just by day one they were automatically pumped a little bit.
Yeah.
On price.
And from what I've heard on tying it back to Spider-Man, that there is less Spider-Man than there was Final Fantasy, about 15% less. I've heard that number from multiple stores. And then
then Final Fantasy, that's good because Final Fantasy was printed to as much as they could.
Yeah. What was it? And I think that Final Fantasy effect, they really did try to. It's just showing in so many places that they tried to print as much as they could. Playboxes are still at 250.
It's crazy. It's the demand is just huge, which is awesome. But it's warping everything around it.
Yeah. But there's also, right now, there's the most Spider-Man boxes that there ever will be. So, starting next Friday, there will be a significantly less collector boxes. And every day forward, there will be less. But that's true about every collector box. But we're just, where we're at in Spider-Man cycle, it should be the lowest price.
Unless it sucks to open.
Which, if... Lord help me, if it dips, I may go for a case. I may try and grab a case.
I mean, honestly, if it drops to anywhere close to 400, buy a case.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because absolutely.
One, you love the IP.
Yeah.
And two, it will come back.
Yes.
This is not just because it's crashing. It's terrible. And this is the problem. Because of the hype cycle,
this is opportunity.
Because of Final Fantasy, because it's not going to live up to this stupid overhype that we've been saying for weeks. If it comes out and it's not as fun to open it's a smaller set, blah blah blah, all the same reasons for Assassin's Creed story, right? Just imagine.
And look at what Assassin's Creed's moving up now.
And it's like that's fine. Let the internet be dumb and angry at it.
Yeah.
Just snatch that thing up because you love Spider-Man for one. That alone is worth having a case of it. And two, it will come back. They're not going to go crazy and overprint this. This is not freaking Ixalan or Innistrad, right? No. It's Spider-Man and it's got cool cards in it. It will be fine. It's just people are being dumb in the up direction and they'll be dumb in the down direction too.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. The hype gets ahead of reality and people lose their mind. It's not your first bubble pop.
No. We've been here before.
Yeah, watch Airbender drop like a rock if that happens.
I think the collector box already dipped.
I wouldn't surprise me. Yes, it did. It was at 1,000. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah.
On release, it was at 1,000. Jeez, guys. Yeah, guys. Guys. There's no box that is worth 1,000. I'm telling you, man.
No. And there's no serialized in that
pre-release. Not pre-release. No box worth 1,000 at pre-release. It's just not. Final Fantasy, maybe you could vaguely justify it. I kind of disagree with that even. But it's just not worth it at pre-release, especially when you don't know what the cards are, especially when you don't know how interested people are in buying the cards. There's so many reasons it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
No.
Oh, it makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Anyways, I said that the whole time. I'm going to stick by it.
It's okay.
Mate, it's fine. It's fine.
Fair.
Hey, the real index that matters, 1999. Empty Final Fantasy box.
Hey, we're coming down to reality.
I think it's flattened. Didn't it go to 15 at one point?
Oh, true.
There's no specific chart for that empty box, so I can't tell what its history was.
TCG Player needs to add an empty box slot.
It needs to be an empty box chart so I can see the volume, because there's a lot, by the way. There's I think there's over 12 listings of empty boxes right now. It's absurd. The real index. The only index that matters.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Well, anything else on that?
No, that's all I had.
Well, Spider-Man, you'll do fine, I promise.
It'll be fine. There may be an opportunity.
It's just not going to be Final Fantasy. It's fine. That's a ridiculous situation that no one should pretend is normal.
Yeah. I mean, it was the highest selling set.
That's the reality.
It beat Lord of the Rings. That's been out for 2 years. They saw it,
and they're saying, this is what everything should be. And that is wrong.
No.
Just wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. There's two pieces to this equation: supply and demand.
Yes.
One of those things is not like the other when it comes between Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, Airbender. Like,
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
Get your head straight. Get your head straight. Anyways, any other card news things to talk about? We're just jumping into economics.
There is the new Pokemon set coming, which will be really interesting to see because it is the first of the new blocks. Scarlet and Violet is done.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah.
I should increase my prices again.
Scarlet Violet's done, so all that early stuff, we're not getting reprints, I don't think.
No. Well, unlikely.
Very unlikely. You can never say guarantee, but it is all but certain that we probably won't. Yeah. And so like I would even most of Scarlet Violet, besides like the last 151 forward, I think is the only thing that has a chance left of being reprinted. And just because 151 is 151 and they can sell as much as they print of that. Typically, we've seen it, you and I have seen it in Sword and Shield and in Scarlet and Violet, that when the first set comes out, Pokemon prints a ton of it, and it usually just kind of resets and no one's really interested in Pokemon for the first couple sets, which is usually when we've accumulated a lot. So I am putting some money aside in case that happens, but I honestly don't think it will. And that money will probably go to a Spider-Man case. Yeah, it's a completely different environment.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't bet on that.
Like, guys. It's happened the last 2 times, but I'm seeing pre-orders at $250. It's wild.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not seeing any case options from anyone. I don't think just because it's a new era that things are going to change.
Well,
I think.
Okay, so here's the one way that might, and Pokemon has done this before, so it's not like there's not precedent for it. If they do the big, like the big overprint that they do sometimes, and it like to shake the market out, this would be the time to do it. The base set,
exactly. Yeah,
that's usually the ugly set, so just do it on that, and then build again. Like if that is the plan, they could drop all prices basically, because when that happens, it typically impacts everything right across.
And maybe that's why we didn't see all these Scarlet and Violet reprints, because they were really trying to do this, like Magic did for Final Fantasy.
It could be they're just doing the full dump. Like, let's start fresh, full dump, get everything down to reasonable. Every kid can get one prices, right? And then let it build up over the course of the series, or the block or whatever. Yeah, I mean,
because it is still a game, and these are the cards that a lot of decks will need.
Yeah, I will say I haven't heard as much scalp screaming. Now, I'm not super plugged into all the.
It hasn't stopped.
Stuff. Okay, I just haven't heard as much. Before I heard it all the time. Usually, that's one of those signs like, okay, they might adjust because they want to keep people happy. Yeah, but I haven't heard as much of it, so I'm curious if that's a factor.
Yeah, it's still happening. I think your algorithm just changed a little.
It did. You don't listen to card stuff, and it's like, you don't listen to card stuff. We're gonna give you different videos.
To be fair, my YouTube algorithm is switched almost exclusively to old school RuneScape. Because I keep looking up guides and stuff, and it's just like, this is what you watch now.
That can happen in a day if you do too many searches.
Yep. It's like you have no interest in the things that you've had interest in for
you
years.
Hate cards now, you hate them.
This is the only thing you want to watch. God damn it.
I kind of want to open a collector's box, Tommy. What should I buy?
You want to buy one from my shelf?
What do you got?
Everything.
What do you want? At a reasonable price, because I don't want to pay a ridiculous amount. That's really the question.
Yeah, that's fair. I have Innistrad Remastered. I have 4 boxes of those.
I didn't like that one, remember?
I have Assassin's Creed. I have... What do I have in single boxes? Because I don't want to open a case for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about Modern Horizons?
I do have a Modern Horizons.
Which one? Because I don't remember
3.
Which ones there are. 3. I don't know what that one is. Was that a good set? I think that one was a pretty fun one. I mean, for me, like I enjoyed opening it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that one was though. I'm vaguely recalling that was a lot of fun. I gotta
I have
look
a
at it.
Fallout.
I'm not. No, aren't those over 1,000? I'm not paying more than like
$1,400
300 to 400. I don't want to pay more than that.
And
Like
the 3
3
to
to 400 is
400.
my price. Yeah, that's. I refuse
Modern
to pay
Horizons
over
3
that.
is over 500.
Oh, boo! I didn't know that.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
Kamigawa at 400.
I have a Kamigawa I can just open.
I have Assassin's Creed at 380.
Yeah, I don't really.
I have a Murders at 260.
I have Murders. I have all the crappy ones. It's
I have
fine.
Kaldheim at 240.
Also have Kaldheim and Zendikar and Ikoria and Ixalan. I have
That's all
basically
my
all
single
the
ones.
old ones. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I have it. Yeah, I have Ixalan, but it's 500. I have a Phyrexia, but it's over 500.
Edge of Eternity's 379.
I don't have Edge of Eternities.
It's on TCG Player. Maybe I'll get that because that was kind of fun to open. It wasn't like the top tier of openings, but it wasn't bad.
There's some cool stuff in there.
Or the dragons. I just don't want to build a dragon deck.
No, I think Edge of Eternities is your answer because that's at a good price, good time in the market right now.
It's just released and kind of not interesting right now. Yeah. I don't know. Someday I'll decide on something to open. I just don't like opening things that cost so much.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah. What's the economicals?
First and foremost, I'd like to throw a shout out to a book called Unit X. It is very fascinating. I recommend people read it if you like geopolitical, economics, DoD, innovation, tech investing sort of stuff. I don't know if that's this crowd or not, but if that stuff interests you, it's a fascinating book. I did it on Audible. It was about basically an attempt by some secretaries of state to get the DoD to innovate faster, kind of like Silicon Valley style speed, like consumer electronics and stuff, led specifically to drone development within the Pentagon and that sort of thing, including like the little drones that are being used in Ukraine, and our failure to do so correctly and well, and China's ability to catch up technologically. And it's a very good book. Anyways, very worth it. A lot of fun. Very about geopolitical and economics. Like it's definitely kind of on the same vein as our economic discussions, just a little bit different government side. Anyways, the big thing was we lost 1 million jobs.
What? No way.
They vanished last
Where'd
year.
they go?
There was a correction in the data. Now, I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks ago I said, I wonder if we'll be able to trust the data going forward.
Yeah.
This is my first question mark, like real big question mark, because, that is a revision that we have not seen since, oh God, I can't remember. I think it was 2008 crash when there actually was a big crash. So one of two things happened. We are already in a recession and there was a massive crash that started under Biden and no one knew, which I question that. It's possible, but I question that. Or when they fired the person and told them to do the numbers the way they wanted, which they made very clear they were going to do, they went back and revised the numbers under Biden to preemptively.
Wasn't 24 under Trump?
No. He started January this year.
I thought it was January 24 he started. It's been, okay. It's been a long year, John.
So they were preemptively seeing the downturn in the economy and they want to blame Biden. So they're correcting the history to make up for what's about to be lost.
Fun.
As a play to say, no, the economy's great, even though it's going to be down 1 million jobs that disappeared from, whatever, the politics of how this stuff goes. So I don't know. I'm not.
Do we even trust that it is down 1,000?
I don't know. This is the problem with politicizing these roles that are typically apolitical. Yeah. That's why everyone was like, don't do that because we need to trust the data or we can't the economy. Anyways, so that's a thing that happened. I think it's silly. New data came out for initial claims. That said, say they are corrupting that data. The new data was also bad. So it wasn't great. Initial claims came out at 263, which is a spike up. It was estimated to be 235, and the prior was 237. So they estimated it to go down a little bit, and instead, the initial claims went up. This is initial jobless claim. So looking for not Social Security, but unemployment. So it spiked. It's like 20K. It's not huge, but it's a significant miss call. They thought it would go down. We'd have more jobs. Instead, we had less, or less unemployed. Now we have more unemployed, sort of thing. So that is a bad sign. But again, and I've said this many times, until it kind of hits that 300K mark, it's noise. Like, don't take this. Yeah. Yes, it's a spike, but it's also next time it will go down 50, right? Like and then it will be revised. And even in the best and most trustworthy times, that happens all the time until it hits that 300 mark. Forget about it. It's not really worth worrying about. Now, perhaps it did hit 300. Like, let's get in a conspiracy here. Get your tinfoil hats on. Like, no, I don't care. Anyways, moving on. Farmers, yeah, I just hate that stuff. That's speculative, yes, so much of it. It's not me. Yeah. I'm a data guy. If the data is untrustworthy, I'm going to use what data I can find, and I'm going to take it at face value until I have reason not to. Yeah. I think the million job decline that happened under Biden suddenly out of nowhere after this political move, that is something worth questioning, because it's not something that seems like a face value number. The initial,
and it's been so long since we've revised
that far back. Much. We haven't had that since 2008, and that was a real economic crash. So it should have looked like 2008 under Biden. Did anyone else feel like it didn't look like 2008? Because it didn't feel like 2008 to me, in the financial sector that pays attention to a lot of data signals.
Yeah.
That 900,000 down seems like it's false. It feels wrong, just based on knowing all the other factors I know in the economy. Whatever. Farmers, they are having real struggles. And this is actually probably one of the more bringing it home to reality situations in financial markets. So farmers are generally vulnerable. We have all these systems in place to pay them to keep them farming. And the reason why is because way back when we had the Great Depression and people were starving to death in this country, we decided we're good enough. We don't need to have that happen anymore. So the government stepped in and set up these programs to make sure farmers could always farm, so that we didn't get another Dust Bowl, so that we could continue to have food on the plates of Americans. That was the goal. So they subsidized it. And that has been the case for a century, right?
Which makes total sense.
It's a strategic thing. You should always do this if you're a wealthy enough country.
It's your backup plan.
If you don't have food, you don't have workers, you have chaos, you have civil unrest. Food is core. If you can make food happen, you should keep making food happen. And there's so many histories of food not happening and entire systems collapsing because food not happened. People get angry. Very good idea.
And very quickly.
Exactly.
A day.
Exactly. It's very fast. That's why it's such a critical strategic thing. Anyways, so farmers struggling at this point is a bad sign. And this is where I feel like it might come home to roost a little bit. So the main reason they're struggling is because of tariffs. Essentially, we sold our excess soy, corn, and I'm trying to remember what else. There's another big crop, American crop, that we sell to China historically. And when the tariffs happened, they said, okay, fine, we'll buy it from Brazil because we don't want to deal with the tariffs, which is a reasonable response to tariffs. It's like, you're going to tax us 30%. We're going to buy it from somewhere else that's the same price as what we were getting before. And they did. And they're not coming back, even though they kind of worked out the tariff thing, right? Trump and China and stuff. It's like they're kind of at not an impasse, but just kind of a settled state. It's not where it was before, but it's also everyone's kind of okay with where it landed. But the downside is there's still a tariff. I think it's 25% or something still. And so for China, a reasonable economic actor, why would you pay 25% more for something you get somewhere else for the normal price? Do you do that? Do you buy American for $200 when you can buy something that was created in China for 10 or 100? No one does. No one does. Reasonable actors don't do that. So farmers have no one to sell to. And I'm seeing a lot of unfortunate news. They're plowing down the fields because it's better to re-fertilize the soil for next year than try to sell it at the loss that they'll be selling it at. So what that means,
it's worth more as fertilizer.
When that happens, though, that means if everyone does that because that's their economic realistic activity is okay, this is better to do than try to sell it.
Yeah.
Imagine if everyone does that for all the tomatoes that are produced.
Mm-hmm.
There's no tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one can buy it and no one's going to sell it at the price that it's worth, right? So when that happens, you get these like gaps in the food logistics chain. And I don't know about you, tomatoes go into freaking everything.
Yes.
Like it's a big deal. Corn as well. It goes into everything. So now suddenly you're gonna have these weird gaps in the logistics chain where it's like suddenly sugar spikes because in America most sugar is corn actually. And so like if sugars or sweeteners spike, that hits everything from your ketchup to chips to like it's crazy. It's in like everything. So you start to get these weird externalities and shifts in the market as to what can actually work and what can't. And on top of that, you get a lot of unemployment in farmers. They start selling their farms, selling their farm equipment. I saw another thing that was kind of a key to this. Like they had a bunch of auctions for farmers that basically gave up. They can't do it. And so they.
I've seen some interviews.
It's heartbreaking. Like they sold their family farm. They're selling tractors at auction. So they're selling their stuff for like dirt cheap because they just need the money to eat, right? Sort of thing. And people are buying it because they, need it for their other thing or whatever. But it's like, it's really rough. And when that happens, like it creates instability in our whole system. Again, food is core. You don't let that get unstable. That's something that we could see hit as soon as like this fall, because remember, crops are in a cycle.
Yeah.
They have a season. There's, a harvest season. And if they decide not to harvest because it's not worth it, like it costs more to harvest than to just let it rot, guess what? We don't have food on the shelves. Like it's a bad thing. We do not want that. So anyways, that's tied to this. I think we're going to see a lot of the jobless claims come from things like the farming sector. Because that is where we're seeing a lot of struggle because of this market, volatility around these tariffs and the food sales. All that leads to kind of the last little bit, where I think it was last week we were talking about PPI, and how it was down and was kind of okay. And then there was another positive bit. I can't remember what. Maybe it was something about the some jobs number or something came out. Oh, yeah, I think it was the ADP number or something. It was like it was fine or something. It wasn't bad. Whatever it was, everyone was getting excited about a rate cut happening because they were like, "Hey, 50 basis point." Oh, wasn't the mortgage people were all excited about it. Yeah. Anyway, so rate cut, yay. It's now pulled back from the 50 basis points to 25. That's right now, the prediction markets have it at 93%. It's just going to be a 25 basis point cut instead of 50%. So they've chilled out on a major cut. And the reason why is because CPI, it came in, which is the core pricing index, I think is what that stands for. But basically, it's the inflation number for core products. That's the stuff you buy at home.
Yeah.
So, and that is not declining anymore. So we've talked about this a couple times because it's kind of bounced here in this area where it's like started to go down, then it bounces back up, then it sits flat, and it bounces up. And, for a while we were like, oh, is it turning around? Are we getting inflation? The answer is not this time. We did not get inflation. It sat flat. But flat is not declining. And that's what people were hoping was going to happen, because if inflation is declining, you want your interest rates to be cut. If inflation's sitting flat and you drop interest rates, then you might see inflation climb, which is what people are afraid of, right? You don't want that happening. So, again, we'll find out on the 17th what the Fed does, but the market seems to think it's going to be 25 basis points. And inflation is flat right now, and job claims are going up, meaning more unemployment, and farmers are sad, and Biden ruined the economy at the level of 2008, apparently. I don't know. So there's your news for the week as far as economic stuff. So much fun.
Always chaotic time. Right time.
I know. This is why we put it at the end, so you can leave before I.
So here's a question: how long can you be in an unprecedented time before it just becomes precedence?
Depends on the nature of the thing.
Fair.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, these last 2 years, probably even longer, honestly. I'd have to go back and look at some charts, but I could say the last 2 years at least are unprecedented. Maybe all the way back to COVID or like slightly post COVID. Because like COVID actually reacted kind of what you thought, right? Everyone was afraid, markets crashed, they recovered too fast, and then you had all the the support under Trump one. He did the that was it the loans and stuff that they put out, all the programs. And that all is like precedented, right? Big crash based on global event reaction by governments. That actually is pretty normal. It's the next few years so maybe like 22 to now, maybe 3 years is an unprecedented cycle or part of the business cycle. Then again, you want to hear a very long unprecedented.
Sure.
The 20-year growth we had with zero interest rate environment called ZIRP. That's what the econ nerds call it, ZIRP. That zero interest rate environment going back to Greenspan, which is probably before you were economically conscious. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember exactly when his reign was, but it was when I was barely economically conscious. So I'm pretty sure you weren't.
Then I definitely was not.
Yeah. So anyways, all the way back to that period. So 20 years, right? Has basically been unprecedented. Now, when does it start being unprecedented versus normal? Because maybe the first 5 or 6 years was normal, but the business cycles have been getting longer. So maybe you extend that to the first 10 years, that's normal. But when you go past 10 years without a significant downturn, you're in unprecedented times. Like historically, we do not have that. And the 08, so like we're about to be 2026, right? So we're just shy of 20 years since the 08 crash, and the 08 crash recovery was so fast. And I know it didn't feel like it for people on the ground, but from a financialization standpoint, it came back so fast that itself was partially unprecedented. So that whole interest rate environment scenario and everything that's happened since then and around then, and again, I think Greenspan is largely considered, I could be wrong on this, but I think he's largely considered responsible for the 08 crash because of the zero interest rate for so long and all the money flowing into the housing and stuff. So yeah, 20 years. That's how long.
Fun.
Unprecedented 20 years.
Fun.
If you look back long enough. But that's true of everything. The only constant, the only reality, the only stable thing in the entire universe is change.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You just got to get used to the fact that whatever we know, people are going to gamify that, work it, try to make better on their own situation. That means the next time it doesn't happen the same way. It can't. Which is the same thing with these card cycles that we look at, right?
Yep. And why Spider-Man was expected to just be Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So, some things are repeated mistakes. Some things are like different. Because like, remember our first Pokemon bubble period? It's a different one. It's behaving different. It's similar. It rhymes. But it's not the same, right?
It's not
and
the same.
Some of it we can see and we're like, yeah. Some of it we're like, we've seen this show before, we don't like it. And then some of it we're like, what the hell is going on? People don't do that. So
you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, basically. So that's not unusual, we'll say.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anything else before we call it a podcast?
That's all I got.
Cool. Well, if the world's still spinning next week, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.